They carry tiny hammers, they're chipping at the crust. Like a John Fontaine novel, they're inclined to ask the dust. Converging on the continents, they're fearless and they're brave. They're cruising down through canyons and exploring every cave, uncovering the mysteries of the planet's history. Deep into the Cambrian for all the world to see, the geologists are coming. Yes, they're trudging down the hill. When they say that mountain's young, they're talking 10 to 20 mil. They're classifying rocks from destruction to rebirth. The geologists are coming. Geologists are coming. They're emerging from their tents, braving steep volcanoes to explore volcanic vents. They take note on the processes that shape the planet's crust. They're driven to inquire, explore this earth they must. The geologists are coming, yes, they're trudging down the hill. When they say that mountain's young, they're talking 10 to 20 mil. They're classifying rocks from destruction to rebirth. The geologists are coming, they're converging on the earth.
Here we go. Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to Lesson 5 of History of the Earth. Minerals.
Well, it sounds like Roxy had a ton of fun on our last field trips, and she's so excited of how nice the first graders are being to her. Roy wants to ask the first graders some house point questions. Go ahead, Roy.
Thanks, Dr. Kokomo. Okay, here are some house point questions. 5 points for each one correctly answered. Number 1, what comes out of a geyser? Name 3 things that come out of a volcano.
Thanks for asking, Roxy. Roxy wants to know where we're going for our next field trip today. We are going to learn about minerals. Minerals are what make up the rocks that we study. Some minerals we even need in our body that we can eat. Look at Roy. He is holding up something that you can get from the store that is a mineral that comes from the earth. You sprinkle it on food.
Look, it's called salt. I put it on my French fries, and my cereal, and my toast, and my jelly beans, and my...
Wait a minute, Roy boy. You put salt on your jelly beans? Well, you better cut back a little bit on the salt because too much of anything is never good for you.
Well, maybe you are right, Kokomo. I'll cut back. Are we ready, first graders? We are going to check out more of the earth and go in caves and stuff and the ocean. Let us go. Buckle up, amigos.
Hey, me again. Lesson number 5. Say the word characteristics. We've heard this word before. Characteristics are the way we can describe and group people or things. Look at the characteristics of these shapes. Some have 3 sides, some have 4, some have 4, some have 4, some have 4, some have 6. So look at the characteristics. Some have more points than the others. Some have colors that are different than the others. So characteristics means how you describe, and you can sort them that way too. It's very cool for rock collectors. Say the word gemstones. Gemstones are, look at this. This is a compound word. The word gem by itself is a word. But then you add the word stones, it becomes 2 words in one. Gemstones, precious stones that can be cut and polished and used to make jewelry. All of these, even diamonds like that, they have to be cut on a special saw and then filed down. But that's what they do with them to make them to fit into jewelry. They cut them, and it's called cabbing. They cab them and cut them to make them look really pretty. So they go on a necklace or on a ring. So gemstones are very valuable stones. The next word is minerals. Minerals are natural substances found in rocks or in the ground. We all use minerals and we need them for our bodies. Some minerals are that we eat every day. Here's one. It's called salt. Salt is a mineral that we have every day in our food. Mineral. It's from the earth. It's weird, huh? We eat rocks every day. Okay, here's the next word. Say traces. Traces means very small amounts. There's some traces of glass in here. Sand is made of different things, and sometimes you'll find glass inside of sand, real small particles. Traces means very small amounts. And that's all we have for lesson 5 today. Talk to you later. This is lesson 5 of our history of the earth. The title of this lesson is called Minerals. As a geologist, it is my job to study rocks. There are many different kinds of rocks out there in the world, and I have collected quite a few rocks during my time as a geologist. Here are some rocks and minerals from my collection. I have polished these in a special machine called a rock tumbler, and it makes them shiny and bright, and it makes the color stick out. In this pile alone, I can see amethyst, tiger's eyes, rose quartz, turquoise, red jasper, agate, onyx. Whoa, sorry, I get carried away sometimes. Minerals are the building blocks of rocks. All rocks have minerals in them. Sometimes you can find pure minerals unmixed from other minerals. There are 3,000 different kinds of minerals. Minerals come in all shapes and sizes and colors and textures. We use these different characteristics to divide minerals into groups. Some of these mineral groups are quite common. For instance, in this picture, the mineral quartz. Quartz is the most common mineral in the Earth's crust. Common means it comes up most of the time. So common means there's a lot of it. So quartz is a very common mineral in a lot of rocks. Quartz comes in many varieties. There are the clear stuff like this. Those are clear quartz crystals. Some minerals form into perfect crystals like that. These and some minerals don't. It all depends on where and how they were formed. Crystals can come in different sizes. Some are small as a pea and some are the size of your arm. As the longer variations in different types of quartz, there are largely caused by small amounts of other metals or other minerals mixing with them. For instance, the beautiful purple crystal is called amethyst, and it's caused by traces of iron and aluminum metal. So these are all mixed with other things, but most of it is still quartz. These are examples of gemstones. They are varieties of a mineral composed of aluminum and oxygen. Red corundum is also known as a ruby. And then there's blue corundum, known as a sapphire. Ruby, sapphire. Sometimes this is how they appear embedded in other rocks. And then you break them out of the rock that's holding them, you polish them up, and then you cab them with a machine and put all these different sides on them to make them pretty. Here's another beauty of a gemstone. It's called an emerald. An emerald has the mineral beryl in it, and it comes from many different colors, including green. It comes in green, blue, yellow, and red. Deep green emeralds are my favorite. And this is what it looks like when it comes in a rock before it's polished. Then it looks like this. Here is one of the most famous minerals. Do you know what these beauties are called? That's right, they're called a diamond. And a diamond is one of the most hardest minerals on Earth. Diamonds can cut through glass or scratch other minerals. The diamond on the left is a raw diamond fresh from the earth. This is what it looks like fresh from the earth. The diamond on the right, this one has been cut and made with, they call them facets when they cut the sides on them. That's called faceted, facets. You need a special equipment and skill to cut and polish diamonds, or other gemstones too, and a powerful magnifying glass to see. Here is one mineral that we use every day. Have you ever heard of salt? Salt, or sodium chloride, is a common mineral that's found in the oceans and the earth. Sodium chloride is called table salt. We use it on food. And rock salt we use to make roads safer during the winter. Some people put table salt on food to make it taste better. Your body needs salt, but too much is bad too. Salt appears in many forms in nature. Rock salt can be found in the form of hay-like crystals, like this. This is a hay-like crystal of salt. You can't see the salt in water because it dissolves and becomes part of the liquid, but the oceans are made of salt water. Why do people use different minerals? Why do all these minerals look the way they do? Each has its own story and gets pretty complicated, but you can bet that there were three basic things in common: heat, pressure, and time to make minerals. Heat, pressure, and time. An important thing to remember about rocks that you find in nature is that you should leave them there so that other people can enjoy them. If every rock a person took weren't there, no one could enjoy them all. In the environment, when the environment changes, the plants and animals that live there might find it hard to find food and other shelter. Now that I've told you a bit of some of my favorite minerals, take a look at the ground the next time you go outside, and you might actually see something interesting. Okay, we've got some questions for you. What is a gemstone? What is a gemstone? How is salt used by people? How is salt used by people? Where might you find the minerals called salt? Where would you find salt? One place you'd find salt.
I'm gonna jump in a crate.
See you later.
Welcome back to our history of the Earth. Today we're going to talk about lesson number 5. Put your digital date at the top where it says date. Our word work for today is characteristics. Characteristics. You've heard this word before in some of our other lessons. Characteristics means features of something, or let's say you have blonde hair and blue eyes. Those are characteristics. If you had brown hair and brown eyes, those are your characteristics. Characteristics are how something appears. For this lesson, we want you to write about A gemstone. The little drawing over to your left here is a drawing of a gemstone, what a gemstone may look like. Now this could be a diamond, it could be a ruby, or another kind of valuable gemstone or a rock that came from the earth. If you found a valuable gemstone, see that word right there? That's a compound word. That's right, 2 words in one, gemstone. So if you found a gemstone, what would you do with it? If you found a valuable gemstone, what would you do with it? Here's a story starter just for you. I would like 2 sentences today. I would blank, blank, blank with my gemstone. Tell me what you would do with the gemstone. Would you save it? Would you sell it? Would you make it into jewelry? Would you give it to your mother or your fine teacher? What would you do with a gemstone if you found something valuable like one? We are going to get house points for 2 or 3 fine sentences. They have to be fine, meaning starting with a capital letter, finger spaces, your very best spelling and sounding out. Please do your best. Geo spells, go.